So this is kind of a touchy subject, isn't it? Unidentified flying objects. And of course, the corresponding aliens. I say it's a touchy subject because not everyone dares to venture into the subject because of religious and political ideologies and dogma. But when you put these three aside, have you ever gazed at the stars at night and wondered, what if we're not alone? Think about it. It's not so strange to come to the conclusion that it's rather obvious that we're not alone. However, when I was a little boy, I was rather surprised to come to the conclusion that not everybody was thinking like that. Why? How? I don't know. But I've seen and witnessed things myself in person several times. Instances I just can't wipe off the table as being mere illusions. And no, I wasn't drunk, stoned, or under the influence or of any illicit substance whatsoever. I was taught at a young age by my grandmother and my mother and my sister that it was of vital importance to keep an open mind. I'll just give you a head start. This is, or the following is, in short, what happens in the past 2 years.
And UFOs. He wants everything to come out that the government has on this. So with that, we bring in Republican Congresswoman from Florida, Anna Paulina Luna. She is chair of the Oversight Committee Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets. She has said that there is evidence of interdimensional beings that can operate through the time spaces that we currently have, which is obviously going to catch a lot of people's attention. Of interdimensional beings here on Earth, and that they operate through the time spaces that we currently have.
A video that was dead dropped to Eric Burleson, who's a member of Congress from within the Department of War, and it shows a UAP, an unidentified air phenomena, deflecting a Hellfire missile. That leads us to believe that, yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind. Deny access to members of Congress, of which has happened not just to myself, but to other members of Congress as well, is not just alarming, but it's also something that cannot truly exist in a free and fair society. Government should not operate in secrecy. We were denied access, and he will tell you that if you've seen some of the stuff that we've seen, you will too become a believer.
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
Wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that
I'm being
tongue-in-cheek?
100% serious. Okay. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. And I'll just tell you this, if they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up, you'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. It would have set the earth on, this country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would demand answers, and we need to. But you know, it's never going to get. Unfortunately, it just keeps getting covered up, and the people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks.
You're on the record talking about, quote, non-human life forms that could be interdimensional beings who are visiting us. Can you just explain more to people at home what that might mean?
Yeah, so that's definitely a mouthful, but that is directly based on information that we've received from witnesses, also information that we have obtained and witnessed via our investigations. There's some stuff that I can't disclose of what I have immediately seen in some of these skiffs, but what I will tell you is this is not just some crazy conspiracy theory. This is not just some crazy conspiracy theory. This is not just some crazy conspiracy theory. Obviously, there's been massive reporting, not just in the United States, but around the world. And this is something that I think everyone kind of, has always had some curiosity about. We're just simply asking the questions.
Yeah, and it feels like we're building towards some sort of disclosure.
Who's controlling these UAP? Where do they come from? And what is their intention?
This sounds, it's hard for everybody to digest. And an 80-year cover-up with a country that keeps it deep and dark and it hasn't gotten out. That's the tough part for people to buy into.
Yeah, so a number of the officials in my film make it clear that a long time ago, this topic was moved away from congressional oversight and even away from the oversight of the President of the United States. And there are certain elements within our government and within defense contractors that have really been gatekeeping the knowledge about this topic.
And there are people in this film who are respected in their fields who say they have seen these craft and have seen the recovered non-human bodies.
And then suddenly everything shifted into next gear. Then came the big boys. Well, I've got a surprise for you. Obama and Trump weren't the first. Many went before them. And they were all absolutely convinced. And I know that some people need to hear it from guys like this. To even consider the possibility of it being more than just a theory.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
Said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked on highly classified UAP programs.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council.
A 1-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomenon.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
So look at that thing. It's rotating. There's a whole fleet of them.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
this is so secret. Very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis. But that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
Whatever everybody is claiming about a government conspiracy, I can assure you, it most certainly isn't a government conspiracy. As a matter of fact, I think the government knows the least of it all. You see, what happens when an alien civilization travels to Earth? What does it mean? It means that they are far, far more advanced than we currently are. And thus, their technology beyond what we are capable of manufacturing, or inventing, or even comprehending. Who do you think, of all human sectors, is the most interested in technology like that? What do humans do primarily? First and foremost, throughout the history of mankind, we have waged war. Continuously. What do you use in a war? Weapons, technology, to outgun the enemy, the opponent, all prophesized through political and religious dogma. And the ones leading the wars, I can assure you, they weren't thinking about religion or politics. They were thinking about one thing: power and the tools and methods to gain, control, and remain in power. And when you find technology that is far more advanced and that we are currently capable of, you try to understand it. You try to find out how it works and how you can utilize it to succeed in your goals. Lo and behold, a military-industrial complex. But now the game is almost over.
Pursuant to Committee Rule 9G, the witnesses will please stand and raise their right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Let the record show that all the witnesses answered in the affirmative. You may be seated. We appreciate you all being here today and look forward to your testimony.
My name is Ryan Fobbs Graves, and I'm a former F-18 pilot with a decade of service in the U.S. Navy, including 2 deployments in Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Inherent Resolve. I have experienced advanced UAP firsthand, and I'm here to voice the concerns of more than 30 commercial aircrew and military veterans who have confided their similar encounters with me. Today, I would like to highlight 3 critical issues that demand our action. As we convene here, UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported. These sightings are not rare or isolated, they are routine. Military aircrew and commercial pilots, trained observers whose lives depend on accurate identification, are frequently witnessing these phenomena. The stigma attached to UAP is real and powerful and challenges national security. It silences commercial pilots who fear professional repercussions, discourages witnesses. It is only compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimony. Parts of our government are aware of more about UAP than they let on, but excessive classification practices keep crucial information hidden. Since 2021, all UAP videos are classified as secret or above. This level of secrecy not only impedes our understanding, but fuels speculation and mistrust.
In 2019, the UAP Task Force Director asked me to identify all special access programs and controlled access programs, also known as SAPs and CAPs, we needed to satisfy our congressionally mandated mission, and we were direct report at the time to the DepSecDef. At the time, due to my extensive executive level intelligence support duties, I was cleared to literally all relevant compartments and in a position of extreme trust, both in my military and civilian capacities. I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it.
As you know, my name is David Fravor. I'm a retired commander in the United States Navy. In 2004, I was a commanding officer of Strike Fighter Squadron 41, the world-famous Black Aces. We were attached to Carrier Wing 11, stationed on board the USS Nimitz, and had begun a 2-month workup cycle off the coast of California. The controller had told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space. We arrived at the location at approximately 20,000 feet, and the controller called merge plot, which means that our radar blip was now in the same resolution cell as the contact. As we looked around, we noticed that we saw some whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego. Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no whitecaps from waves. So the whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All four of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down the small, saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping-pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look with the other aircraft staying on high cover to observe both us and the tic-tac. This point was about 15,000 feet and the tic-tac was about 12,000. As we pulled nose onto the object, within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerated in front of us and disappeared. Our wingmen, roughly 8,000 feet above us, lost contact also. We immediately turned back to see where the whitewater was at, and it was gone also. So as we started to turn back towards the east, the controller came up and said, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is at your cap point, roughly 60 miles away in less than a minute. You can calculate the speed." We returned to Nimitz. We were taking off our gear. We were talking to one of my crews that was getting ready to launch. We mentioned it to him. And they went out and luckily got the video that you see, that 90-second video. What you don't see is the radar tape that was never released, and we don't know where it's at, of the active jamming that the object put on an APG-73 radar. And I can get into modes later if you're interested. What is shocking to us is that the incident was never investigated. None of my crew were ever questioned. Tapes were never taken. And after a couple days, it turned into a great story with friends. It wasn't until 2009 until Jay Stratton had contacted me to investigate. Unbeknownst to all, he was part of the ATIP program in the Pentagon, led by Lou Elizondo. And there was an official report that came out that's now on the internet. Years later, I was contacted by the other pilot, Alex Dietrich, and asked if I'd been contacted, and I said no, but I'm willing to talk. I was contacted by Mr. Elizondo, and we talked for a short period of time, and he said we'd be in contact. A few weeks after that, I was made aware that Lou had left the Pentagon in protest and joined forces with Tom DeLonge, Chris Mellon, Steve Justice, and others to form Two Stars Academy, an organization that pressed the issue with leading industry experts and U.S. government officials. They worked with Leslie Kean, who is present today, Ralph Blumenthal, and Helene Cooper to publish the articles in the New York Times 2017 New York Times. And it removed the stigma on the topic of UFOs, which is why we're here today. Those articles open the door for the government and public that cannot be closed. It has led to an interest from our elected officials who are not focused on little green men, but figuring out where these craft are, where are they from, the technology they possess, how do they operate. It also led to the Whistleblower Protection Act and the NDAA. There are multiple witnesses coming forward to say that have firsthand knowledge, and Mr. Grush just covered that. What concerns me is that there's no oversight from our elected officials on anything associated with our government processing or working on craft. Believe not from this world. This issue is not a full public disclosure that could undermine national security, but it is about ensuring that our system of checks and balances works across all work done in the government using taxpayer funds. Relative to government programs, even unacknowledged WAVE programs have some level of oversight by the appropriate committee members in the House and Senate, and this work that is said to be occurring from whistleblower testimonies should not be exempt. In closing, I would like to say that the Tic-Tac object we engaged in 2004 was far superior to anything that we had on time, have today, or are looking to develop in the next 10 years. If we in fact have programs that possess this technology, it needs to have oversight from those people that the citizens of this great country elected in office to represent what is best for the United States and best for the citizens. I thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My God. It's all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not an LNS though, is it? It is an LNS, dude. Well, if there's like anything, it's rotating. There's shooting to the west. Did you box moving target? No, I took it on a train. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that. Look at the try.
On UAPs. A bipartisan group from the House Oversight Committee sent a letter to the Intel Community Inspector General last summer requesting more details. That letter was in response to testimony by former intelligence official David Grush, who told News Nation in an exclusive interview that the government was in possession of biological evidence of non-human intelligence. Senior national correspondent Brian Enton is live. Brian, how much was revealed?
Not a lot of information revealed from what we can tell. Remember, this was a secret classified meeting in a SCIF, which is a room where the Congress men and women cannot bring in their cell phones. It's a secret environment. So we don't know all the information. We were able to talk to several of the lawmakers when they came out, and they said, look, they didn't get a ton of info, but most of them did say, Nicole, that this secret meeting did move the needle a little bit when it comes to transparency, saying that they learned a little bit more. Many of them saying that.
I just think what most of the American people fear is true, is that the government, there's a concerted effort to conceal as much information as possible, both from Congress and to the general public.
I think that some people are looking for things. This was not the venue to determine those things, but for me, I got a lot of clarity.
In that targeting pod, you can see something. I can't tell if it's metallic or what. There's, I can see like lines coming down below. I can't